What up, caplers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? It is Monday morning, April 15th. Happy Jackie Robinson Day to you. We have a baseball game popping off in 4 minutes. I am on the under 11 at minus 105 in Baltimore, Boston. Now, I'm not entirely sure if the game's going to pop off when it's supposed to. There's thunderstorms this morning. There's going to be rain in the forecast today. But I am on the under. I know Dan Straley's looked absolutely terrible since he got signed. Hector Velasquez coming out of the bullpen. But it's a very early start. If there is rain breaks during this game, it's going to hurt these guys who are trying to stay focused. I think it hurts batters a little more than it hurts pitchers, although it definitely hurts starting pitchers. But I am on Adam Lastman. I'm going heads up against my man, Adam Lastman. I'm on the under 11. Orioles are hitting just 222, 669 OPS versus righties. Red Sox are hitting 227, 683 OPS versus righties. So that's what's up. We can talk about it a little bit more in a second. Just to finish it off, Boston looking for their first series victory of the year. It's nuts. They've now won 4 of their last 6, trying to recover from a 2-8 start. They're not going to have Benintendi, it looks like, in the lineup. Let's just take a look at who is confirmed in this lineup. They have Pedroia, Betts, Moreland, Martinez, Bogarts, Devers, Pierce, Swihart, Vasquez. Not a good-looking lineup. Pierce is on this team to go up against lefties as well. VR, Mancini, Smith, Ruiz, Nunez, Davis, Sucre, Martin, Mullins. Loving the under, and I'm on the under, and I love Straley's horrifying ERA and how bad he's looked to start the year just to get the opportunity to take 11. It wasn't 11.5 at certain points during the end. So that's what's up. Okay, that's out of the way. Now let's give a shout out to all the cappers in the chat. It's a new week. And I actually had a pretty good week in baseball. I had 0-4 day Thursday, but I went 17-8 in my last 25. If I hadn't had that 0-4 day, it would be absolutely gorgeous, 17 from my last 21. But we're moving in the right direction. We'll put up the stats in a second. Shout out to Lucky Lefty and his girl Tata Booker in the house. We got Brian Watson, Rob Cruz, Dan Kelly. Dan Kelly said, I also said after game 1 in the series, I got OKC plus 125. Wow, I think I'm missing some chat. Oh, there we go. Oh, yeah, I think I'm missing some chat. Okay, it's all good. He said, I also said after game 1, take OKC in the series. I got OKC plus 125. Now it's plus 110. Get on it. Portland's adrenaline will wear off without Nurkic. That's a great, great point. A great point. Drew Daddy in the house. Matt Randall. We got Adam Lastman, underdog. Joe Rich Ramirez. Riku Roxas. Dan Kelly. He said, first they said Tiger will never win again. Then they said Tiger will never win a major again. There are too many great young players today. His back is not good enough. Now they're saying he will never beat Jack's 18 majors. Wow. If I can find odds on that, I'll bet he wins 19 majors. Yeah. And he says Tiger's a once in 1,000 years artist. Just watch and enjoy. Wow. Yeah. Shout out to Tiger Woods proving everybody wrong. Nice to see. Demetrius Miller in the house. We got Ulysses Hayes. Matt Randall. Matt Randall's taint play of the day is just hot. Hot. Follow. When this man says taint, everyone should listen. And that's what I said about my man Angel Romero last night. Angel Romero, I was taking a very easy weekend, but Angel Romero said, jump on Monterey right now. And I was like, you know what? Got this game on TV right now. Why don't I jump on it if Angel Romero is telling me to? Yeah, I got minus 182, put $182 on it, and they won 4-0. It was too easy. Shout out to our guy, Angel Romero. Shout out to the whole low bag fam. We worked together. We beat minus 110. We got Yo in the house. We got PG 00187. Dave L.A. says, what's up, cappers? It's Dan Straley, a.k.a. Patriots Day in Boston. Sorry, my lungs are still a mess. I'm getting them checked out tomorrow morning, so we'll see what's going on there. Alex Ramirez in the house. Hope you had a great birthday weekend, Alex. We got Kevin Pine. Oh, no, I hate hearing that. Kevin Pine, I'd just like to say that the Lightning and its owner owe me $2K. Oh, man. I absolutely hate hearing that. I lost 200 on game 2 at plus 115. I ended up hitting the under 6.5 to kind of even that up, but then I'm about to lose 200 on this. I took the series minus 200 after game 1. And we'll talk a lot about that because there's 2 great teams at 3-0, down 3-0, the Penguins and the Lightning. And do either of them make a run? What would you say the odds are of one of them tying the series up? I mean, these are 2 very good hockey teams. I think it's a very interesting question that we'll be talking about. We got Chicago Kid in the house. Paulo Marquez ready to roll. Gerardo Hernandez. Gin Rummy. Oh, got the 11.5. Of course he did. Of course you did, Junior. I mean, I could have predicted that you found that perfect time to jump on them. Respect to you, my friend. JF in the house. Dave LA's on the Red Sox. First 5 -1. The Red Sox run line. We got Optimus Prime. We got Mr. Gokster. Top of the morning to you, Gokster. Bet you watched that Arkansas Derby. I don't remember a year like this where it's just wide open. There are so many spectacular horses that could win this year's Kentucky Derby. So there's not going to be a heavy favorite, which means there's going to be huge money to make. Omaha Beach. My God, I mean, it's going to be a spectacular Derby, and there's going to be a shitload of money to make. Wow. So I'm going to make sure that I got $500 to bet on just that race, because it's going to be somebody's cashing huge, is what I'm saying now. But the exactor, the triactor may not be that huge. I mean, it's easy to say that, but it just feels like those top 5 horses. It's a huge wild race with 20 horses. So obviously there's some long shots that'll come in. We have to wait for the weather and all that said. So maybe I'll just wait on that. But the top 5 or 6 horses really seem like the top 5 or 6 horses. But everybody will have their own favorite. It's going to be incredible. What's the favorite going to go off at 5-1? Just like Orb in 2013. All right. We got Remo, Chicago Kid, That Sweaty Butcher, Jeff Joseph said, excited for Woodbine opening on Saturday, man. I wish I was there. Tomor says, what a joke. Tampa's still being offered a plus 600 to win the cup. What? Really, Tomor? God, that's hilarious. That's ridiculous. Eric Jones in the house. We got Ron Crawford. We got Carlos Baroj. Said, I told you Pitt goes down 0-2. They're donezo. Yeah, I mean, they're down 3-0, and we know how difficult it is to come back from 3-0. But you know what? All this said and done, I absolutely love the playoffs so far this year. It's been spectacularly exciting. Alex Mabry says, Shoemaker, the best pitcher in baseball. Thoughts? He's having a great start, absolutely. But I think there's a ton of value on the Twins today because Shoemaker started so well. Jim Rami said, love that Jackets plus 1.5 games at plus 181. That's gorgeous. What a gorgeous bet that was. Okay, sorry, this just moved up very quickly. We got Farouk Islam in the house. Great to see Farouk back in the house. Robert Cherry says, let's cap some games. Hey, Jimmy, I got treats for you and ski some real gems. All I want to know is, do you believe? Robert Cherry, I love capping with you, my guy. Now I follow you on Twitter. George Cruz says, Bucks easy money. That's the only bet I ended up making, was the Bucks to sweep the series 4-0 at plus 200, and now it looks like there'll be no Blake for the series. Looks good. We got Antoine Seymour in the house. Tormina says, my Capitals bet at 800, plus 800, and better to win the East, and the Cup are looking better. They still are looking better. But you're right. It's going to be a tough path. Tough path. And Dave LA says, told you Boston will wake up and start with a run. Great. That's not what I wanted to hear. Okay, let me just get that game up. So I guess... What do you? Oh, okay. I haven't seen that. That you might be a little ahead of me. We got Drew Daddy shouting out King Rail. We got K9 in the house. Jorge Ruiz, Michael Irvalina. We got a ton of work to do. Sharp money ready to go. We got Brian Watson. Anna Merrick said, had a rough night in MMA. Sorry, fam. This week will be better. And Merrick, we trust you implicitly. And you're rough. What you were down 2 units? That's nothing. We got Born in 94 Nostalgia, starting the backline for Killarney FC. They call him the Destroyer, number 5. And I now follow you on Twitter. I'm very excited to roll with you, man. You make me laugh. Daryl Lyles in the house. Okay, let's get to work. Lucky Lefty. Bobby Digital says, Perez for the Twins, just horrible. Shoemaker on fire. Blue Jays play at a great number. See, I disagree, and we'll talk about that a little bit more. But I disagree. Von Post says, Kentucky Derby will pay big this year. Favorites will not be short at all. Oh, God. It's going to be... We haven't had a Derby like this since Orb, and it'll be higher than Orb. Orb went down pretty low by the end of the day, I believe. Well, I guess he didn't. Did he? I think he ended up maybe at about 5.5 to 1. Okay, let's get to work. Let's get to work right now. Okay, beautiful. I can't keep up with all the comments. PRC publicists take the Lightning for the next 4 games. I have DM you of the reasonings behind rolling Tampa. I will take a look at what your reasonings are. It's not that I don't agree with you, but we need to know that Hedman's healthy, and we'll talk about that. Okay, everybody good. Okay, let's get to work right now. But I'm trying to keep up with Jack because there's so many great things to say. Okay, let's get to work. Let's start with baseball. We've already talked about this spot here. Okay. I thought you said there was already a run. You scared the shit out of me. I am on the under 11. And we've already talked about this Orioles-Red Sox game. So, Rafa, my man, could you please put up the MLB baseball record? It's still horrifying, but not as horrifying. And if I can just like a playoff series, if I could just win every 7 days, so by the end of this week, I just want to be down single digits. That'll be my goal, down single digits. And then we'll go down next week, want to be down under 5 units. And then the week after that, positive. And keep climbing. Twatty Latte says Shoemaker beat Baltimore and Detroit, got lit up against Boston. I'm with Twatty. I think there's a ton of value on the Twins today. We will get to that game soon. Mally Mal says Tampa historically dominates game 4s on the road. You know, Mal, I think it's time we just put a line through the historic stats at this point. But I feel you. Okay, let's go. Mets, Phillies. We're going to break down this baseball card. Or do you guys want to start with the NHL card and NBA card? I mean, we're going to be able to cap each and every game. Why don't we go through the baseball card first right now? Let's go Mets, Phillies, Syndergaard, Nola. Mally Mal saying, don't trust the Tribe. Give me the Tribe, don't trust Coochie. We'll get to that. Let's talk Syndergaard, Nola. Mets are hitting 253, 756 OPS versus righties. Phillies are hitting 251, 803 OPS versus righties. 52 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 22 miles per hour sideways. The wind is crazy. Absolutely crazy. Mally Mal says, yes, Jim, I'm on Twins. I agree. I absolutely agree. And we will get to that. Jason M says, NHL. You know, we're going to be able to cap each and every single game on this card in this morning show. So let's just, for fuck's sakes. I hear you, Jason M. I hear you. But let's just go through this baseball card and then hammer this NHL card. But remember, this is your show as much as my show. So let me know how you guys want to handle things. Shout out to our guy, Dom, reaching out. Says that's another night DeGrom didn't pitch well in windy, rainy weather. Take note. Also, Dave L.A. faded DeGrom on the first 5. Had Braves first 5. Take note. And let's just quickly see if things are in trouble there. Still no outs there. With Mancini at bat. Okay. All right. First 5 under is Drew Daddy's question mark. Let's keep breaking this down. Nola off to a rough start after finishing third last season in Cy Young voting. Nola 6-1 career against the Mets, 3.35 ERA across 9 starts, 4-0 record with 2.15 ERA in 6 starts last season. Nola struck out 46 in 37 2/3 against the Mets. Phillies are 9-5. They just took 2 of 3 on the road against the Marlins. They're playing good baseball. Their bullpen, which has been struggling, looked very good in that 14-inning game. Mets arrive in Atlanta and won the first 2 games of a 4-game series and then lost twice to the Braves, 11-7 on Saturday, 7-3 on Sunday. They played in the Sunday night game. A lot of people fade the team that plays on the Sunday night game. Okay, look at this. Gin Rummy is going to be on Twitter. Odds Maker Stats. Gin Rummy has taken the plunge to Twitter. Wow, that's great news, Gin Rummy. I'm very excited about that. That is a copy and paster. Dan Kelly says, if we are going to Saratoga in August, you have to get healthy. To get healthy, take some time. Tell your boss you must have time off. If you don't have your health, you don't have anything. I agree. It's a tough time right now with all the changes going on here for me to take time off to get healthy. But I absolutely agree. I would like that very, very much. Underdog says, Jimmy, how do we enter the Triple Crown contest? $1,000 up for grabs. I will copy and paste it right now for you to enter. Okay, I can't copy and paste it, but I will. I will get that for you, Underdog. And that's very exciting that Gin Rummy is now taking the plunge and joining us on Twitter. Okay, let's keep rolling here. So, Mets arrive in Atlanta after losing those last 2 games. Their bullpen continues to look bad. 6.50 ERA through 3 starts. Syndergaard struck out 20 while walking just 2, but he got touched by the Twins. He doesn't look so good this year. I'm sure that will turn around. Syndergaard 5-3 with 3.23 ERA and 10 career starts versus the Phillies, but they lit him up last year. Robert Cherry says, I like the Mets. Got to strike while the iron is hot, Jimmy. Matt Randall says, I'm on the Phillies and the over 7.5. I have 19 miles an hour wind out to right. See, my wind is sideways, but maybe, we'll keep an eye on it. Thor 2-2 5 starts, 3.8 ERA, 1.31 whip, 477 batting average at Citizens Bank Park. Let's take a quick look at what we're getting at sportsbookreview.com. We're getting a 7.5, and the under's being hammered right now. The under opened at plus 100 at BetOnline. It's now minus 20. That's a 20-cent move to the under. So I think that the wind's got to be an issue. The wind has got to be an issue. Thank you, Carlos Peroge. Much love. Much love to you guys. Thank you for caring about me. Yes, the pneumonia's lasted for a very, very long time. Tom Marino says idling first 5 under. Nola should bounce back. Syndergaard is pitching well. Bobby Digital on the Mets money line. All that said and done, I'm going to take a little bit more time on this game. Robert Cherry says Philly teams lost me money. I'm fading them today. Matt Randall liking the over 7.5. I can understand that if the public wasn't hammering the under. Matt Randall says let's let the public hammer the under because Thor is pitching. There has to be more than that. I think it has to. Let's just keep an eye on the wind at this point. Nola and Thor have not looked good this year. 19 innings, 13 hits, 10 earned runs, 2 home runs allowed for Thor. Nola, 15 and a third, 14 hits, 11 earned runs, 5 home runs allowed. So I'm going to sit and wait on that. Now let's talk Cubs, Marlins. Darvish, Richards, Cubs had a snow day yesterday. They were off, so they're able to throw Darvish here. So they obviously have faith in Darvish. Richards is just looking better and better as he ages. Cubs are hitting 287, 851 OPS versus righties. Marlins can't hit righties at all, 205, 599 OPS. So the Cubs got the rest that they needed. Their bullpen got rest. They're playing better. Through their first 8 games, they were allowing 8.4 runs per game. They're now, in the last 6, allowing just 2.7. They're getting very little from Bryant, Rizzo, and Schwarber, all under the Mendoza line. Darvish has dropped consecutive decisions. He doesn't look very good. But a chance to look good is going up against this weak Marlins lineup. That's how you look good. Miami also has a very tired bullpen. They just went 14 innings Sunday. They used 7 relievers on Sunday. All that said and done, Drew Dydy says you shows up tonight. I like the first 5 under. Let's see what we get right now on this spot here quickly. King Rail saying the Marlins are trash. They are trash, but I love Trevor Richards, and that's a problem. You don't want that to get in the way, but the guy's story, the guy comes out of Drury College, Drury University. Nobody wants anything to do with this guy. He signed out of the International League. Now he has got a changeup that nobody can touch. Like that story. Let's see what we're getting first 5 here. First 5. I'm getting a 4.5, and I'm going to take it. I'm going to take under 4.5, first 5. I'm getting minus 113 at Pinnacle. First 5, under 4.5 at minus 113 at Pinnacle. Book it! Oh, and Dom Ricci says Thor struggling. Not sure you're watching. Well, 20 Ks to 2 walks. And he's only allowed 13 hits in 19 innings. So I know, Dom, you know this team inside and out. So I guess you're right. I'm just looking at the earned runs in 19 innings. And he looked very good to start that game. But then he got touched late by the Twins. So you're right. You're right. I've not been focused enough on what Thor is doing. And if you could expand on that a little more. But Don Reed says that said, he's still leaning over 7.5. If you could expand on Thor a little more, I would love to hear. But you're right, 20 Ks, 2 walks, 13 hits, so his whip is good. Dom Reed says, not sure what you're watching. Well, I tell you what, Dom, I guess I'm not watching Thor enough. Dan Kelly says Thor has a high BIP batting average of balls in play. Said should come back at some point. I hear that. And it's also a situation where he's being touched violently by the Phillies last season. Robert Cherry says, so Cubs under 5, Jimmy. Yes, I'm on the first 5 under 4.5 at minus 113. Mally Mal says Darvish is trash. If Darvish wants a chance to get some confidence, just go up against this Marlins club. Okay, let's keep rolling along. We got a lot of games to break down. Cardinals, Brewers, Dakota Hudson versus Freddie Peralta. This is an interesting spot. Cardinals have a lot of faith in Dakota Hudson, but we have to see how he throws on the road here. 9 2/3 this year, 13 hits, 3 earned runs, 3 home runs, 7 walks, 10 Ks. Freddie Peralta, 14 1/3, 16 hits, 11 earned runs, 3 home runs allowed, 4 walks, 19 Ks. Cardinals are hitting 254, 807 OPS versus righties. Brewers are having a tough time versus righties, surprisingly. 235, 730 OPS. St. Louis has won 6 of its past 7, including a 9-5 victory over the Reds in Monterey on Sunday. They opened the season by losing 3 of 4 to Milwaukee. Yelich completely dominated that series. Peralta has had 1 great start and 2 bad starts. And do you want to trust him against this Cardinals team that's already touched them on March 29th? 4 runs, 6 hits, and a 9-5 loss. Tiago Ruiz says, anyone think the Bruins will win the series? If they keep using their physical presence against these Leafs, I don't see how they They wouldn't. They look like a completely different team. And now Kadri angry about that knee on knee and probably suspended for at least 2 games. We will see. We will see. Peralta looked great against the Reds, but did not look good in the other 2 games. Brewers swept by the Angels, came back, take 2 or 3 from the Dodgers. So the Brewers are coming home from out west. In all honesty, I don't really want to trust either of these 2 pitchers. Let's see what I'd get full game here on the total. First 5 is 5. See what you guys have to say. Lucky left saying Darvish arm is gone. I think they're skipping other pitchers to allow Darvish another start. I just don't think this will be happening. They still believe in him. That's what I'm trying to say. They still believe in Darvish. Oh, sorry, excuse me. Yeah, Darvish. It's a 9 right now. Opened at 8.5, which I'm sure Jin Rummy got on if he wanted the over in this game. It's now 9. 9 at plus 105. I find that over appealing. Dakota Hudson on the road, but Peralta's always looked good at home. I'm going to stay off of it at some point. At this point, but I think I may make a move. I guess I've got a lean towards the over, and I guess I have a lean towards the Brewers slightly. Ramon Scott says Cards and over. Robert Cherry says just fade this game, don't make a move on it. I hear that. I do kind of like the over here. I'm going to hold off on it at this point. Let's move on to Blue Jays Twins. Okay, Martin Perez has not had a chance to start, and he wants this opportunity. And now he gets to go up against the Jays team. That numbers are improving against lefties. Eddie Euler says lean under. Jin Rummy says not enough relevant info on Dakota Hudson. Can't place a bet here. That's very interesting. Johnny Lou liking the over. That's interesting, Jin Rummy. And Eddie Euler leaning towards the under, but he'd buy up to 9.5 because there's no 9.5s available at this point, right? Oh, God, what am I talking about? There aren't 9.5s. Bet Online's already moved that to a 9.5. Wow, Bovada's moved that to a 9.5. Heritage moved that to 9.5. Interesting. And CT Bay saying it's just the contract that keeps him starting. Interesting. Okay, let's keep rolling. We got the Twins. I find the Twins have value here. And I expect Martin Perez to show what's up. Here we go. Matt Randall's taint play of the day. Angels minus 1.5. I was thinking about this spot. Very, very interesting spot. This from Matt Randall. It says current Texas batters have a combined 166 batting average, 0 home runs, 17 RBIs off Cahill. Cahill's numbers at Globe Life are 5-1, 3.22 ERA, 1.03. Angels for the taint. There we go. Matt Randall's taint play of the day is in. Host Seth Tucker in the house. Loved seeing him. What up, my man? Thank you for joining us. Okay. Mally Mal says, yes, Jim, Twins. Let's talk about it just from this psychological situation here. Okay. The way I see it with Martin Perez is that, sure, he was terrible last year. And now he's got an opportunity to play for a team that didn't even want to start him with the off days, wanted him to come out of off the bench. He says this. He says, I talked to these guys and I'm going to go long. I'm not a young guy. I'm a veteran guy. I need a chance to pitch to show my teammates and to show the other team that I'm ready for this. I'm ready to win. I don't want a pitch count. I don't like that. They believe in me. I'm going to do my job. The Jays are hitting a little better against lefties right now, but Shoemaker having such a good start to the year, 19 2/3, 9 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 home runs allowed, 5 walks, 19 Ks. I just think it gives us value because this Blue Jays team is 1-5 on the road. And the Twins are 4-1 at home. And they're just a much better baseball team. Toronto's beginning a 7-game road trip, so now they head out on the road. You know, Shoemaker tied for second American League in wins, second in the league in ERA. It's very early. Gurriel's already been sent to the minors. Let's take a look at what the expected lineups are. Kepler, Polanco, Cruz, Rosario, Cron, Gonzalez, Scope, Castro, Buxton. Going up against Drury, Grichuk, Hernandez, Smoke, Jansen, Tellez, Sogard, McKinney, Galvis. Bobby Digital says, wrong side, Jimmy. I know you don't truly believe in Shoemaker, but he's hot. Despite what Perez says, he's just not good. I hear that. I actually hear that, but you would be getting minus 180 to minus 200 in any other situation with the Twins at home against the Jays. And because of this pitching matchup, I'm getting a minus 133 at Pinnacle. See, to me, that's value regardless of the starting pitching. And you want a starting pitcher to have a chance, you let him roll up against this Jays team. I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. I'm going to take the Twins at minus 133 here. You know what? I guess I'll just take them at minus 133, but that minus 1 is very appealing. Okay, I'm on the Twins. Let's keep rolling. Angels, Rangers. We already know that the taint play of the day is in. It is in with Cahill being backed by Matt Randall. Trevor Cahill, 18 innings, 14 hits, 7 earned runs, 3 home runs allowed, 2 walks, 16 Ks. Shelby Miller, 5 2/3, 10 hits, 6 earned runs, 0 home runs, 8 walks, 3 Ks. I'm surprised that Matt Randall didn't talk more about Shelby Miller and how terrible he's looked, because that's the real reason why the Angels should be backed. They have yesterday off because of the snow. So now they roll into Texas where it's warmer. They have their bullpen ready to go, their best bullpen in the league so far this year. KO 11-4, 3.22 ERA in his career against Texas. Angels have won 7 of their last 8 games, and they may have Trout back in the lineup. As soon as Trout's announced, I've been very impressed with the way this Rangers team is coming back. Russell Gordy says travel day for a lot of teams. Unders look great across the board. That's a great, great point. Ramon Scott liking the Twins. Tiago Ruiz, does anyone think the Flames will win the series? I mean, Tiago, they got to be the favorites still. They're won the Western Conference. Now, we're going to talk about that game, and I'm not going to take the Flames tonight, but I'd like them to win the series, and I expect them to win the series. Okay, so all that said and done, I think the Angels are the play, but I really trust, and Ian saying Trout's back, I really trust this Rangers team fighting back late. Nolan says, I like that breakdown and the pick on the Miami game, Jimmy. I like it too. I like that first 5 under because the only thing Trevor Richards knows that the bullpen needs rest, so he's not going to be worried about being pulled early if anything goes wrong. He's going to know he's going to pitch long. And what could easily happen in that game is that, the bullpen gets touched. The tired bullpen gets touched by a Cubs team that's hitting well. So if Florida gets ahead, you might want to jump on it at this point. But all that said and done, I think that first 5 makes a ton of sense here for the Angels at minus 125. I just really like these Rangers bats, and that comeback against last night, that comeback was very impressive against the A's. So I'm going to take the Angels first 5 at minus 125. And that's going to be my spot there. Okay, let's move on. Royals, White Sox, Phil Myers, Santana. I'd love to back Santana here, but I need to see him have an okay start. Phil Myers does not look good to start the year, and he never looked good on the road last year. Royals are hitting 262, 770 OPS first righties. White Sox are hitting 242, 732 OPS first righties. Santana looked terrible in his first start. 3 2/3, 7 hits, 7 earned runs, 3 home runs, allowed 3 walks, 1 K. He had just 4 swings and misses against the Rays, and I watched that entire game. Matt Randall saying Odor on the DL. That's going to hurt him because they don't have Profar anymore, which was a mistake. Eddie Euler saying Avalanche going to get some reinforcements of that good young UMass D-man. Man, that kid is the truth. We'll talk about him, the 4th overall pick last year in the draft, Hobie Baker Award winner. But they're losing Samuel Girard from the lineup, it looks like. So it's not going to be that key addition. It's going to, you probably want Samuel Girard in the lineup and all that said. Robert Cherry saying, I'm loving the Royals right now, Jimmy. Tail game 1 of this series. Dave L.A. says, I'm on the Angels money line. Matt Randall says, White Sox already on it. Ramon Scott says, if you follow Irvin Santana on Twitter, he will follow you back. Well, that's something nice. Dave L.A. on the Royals, White Sox over 9. Yeah, that makes the most sense to me. I think both these pitchers don't look good to start the year. Phil Myers, 5 runs, 6 hits, and 3 innings against the Mariners. Royals are hoping to get Billy Hamilton back in their lineup at some point during this trip. Probably won't be today. Tim Anderson's leading the league in batting average. I think Dave L.A. has a great point here on this over. Let's just see what we get right now. Take another look at the weather as well. 46 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, so it's not going to be warm. Let's see. The first 5 has already jumped up to 9.5. 5.5 from 5. Let's see what we get. Full game, 9.5. And it's been moving slightly towards the under. That's interesting. But I agree with you. I think there's going to be runs. Plus 100 over 9.5 at plus 100 here at 5 dimes. I'm going to jump on it. 494. 494. I'm going to jump in. I'm going to jump in on this over 9.5 right now. Shout out to Dave LA. Over 9.5 at plus 100. Okay. Lance Mania in the house. Okay. Let's keep rolling. Tijuana Dave joining us. And I can understand, I can understand backing what Robert Cherry's saying, backing the Royals here, but I don't know if I want to do it. They're 0-3 on the road, and I just don't trust them at this point. Let's get a quick look at we're 0-0, top of the second, but they got a man on second with none out. You know what? Okay, let's not get too excited. Eddie Weiss is on paper at 17-15 Royals. Okay, I'm on the over 9.5. I like it. Alex Ramirez says Texas Rangers. I'm going to go against the team play today. Rangers going to win by 2 or more. Kale gets touched by Rangers. Guarantee it. Wow. Exciting, Alex. Exciting. All right, let's keep rolling along here. Now we go to Reds, Dodgers. 63 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 6 miles per hour out to straightaway center. Castillo versus Kershaw. My thought here is, how could you not back Castillo here? Reds are hitting 298 with a 1.070 OPS versus lefties. We know that this is not the Kershaw of our youth. His velocity is way down. Castillo looks spectacular. Ramon Scott says Orioles on the board. All right. Okay, don't worry. Chris Davis will get out. Robert Cherry said 0-3 on the road with fresh hitters, decent bullpen that's not worn out. No, I agree. I don't think there's anything wrong with your play, Robert Cherry, and I may jump on it. At some point, but right now I'm just going to stick with that over. Let me put a little note that you're on it here. All right. Okay, so Russell Gordon says stay away from overs on Mondays, travel days for teams. That, it's a very, very good point, Russell Gordy. I just think Santana looked absolutely terrible, and I don't want to jump on the 5.5. Robert Cherry says, I got the Reds outright today, Jimmy. They shocked me. Kershaw fell way off last year. We know this team is hammering lefties. CT Bay says, I like the Reds here. Is there a better fade than this Kershaw character? I don't think there is. Let's see what we get right now on Castilla. I also think that the over is probably in play. Full game over at 7.5. Let's see what we get on the Reds here. Plus 139 down from 172. Jin Rummy's going to not want me to have taken it at this point. But plus 142 just feels like value at this point. It just feels like value. Let's see what we get first 5. What about fading Kershaw, just the first 5 and just Kershaw? Let's take a quick look at what the bullpens are like right now for both of these squads before I make a move. Here we go. Bullpen rankings. Be very curious to see if the Reds bullpen has stepped up at all. They've looked good. 3.51 ERA. Batting average against of 260. And I know there's expanded stats I could look at, but I'm not going to at this point. And let's look at where the Dodgers stand. The Dodgers bullpen has the exact same batting average, but as a 5 ERA. Tijuana Dave says, Jimmy, have you been to Del Mar Racetrack? Beautiful place. I've played it off track thousands of times in my life and pretended I was there, but I still have not made it. That and Gulfstream are the only 8 tracks in America left that I have not been to. I would love to. Dave LA says, Jimmy, do you know the velocity for Kershaw in the 2 minor games? I was trying to find that out exactly this morning, and I just didn't have time to grab it. So if anybody could let us know what his velocity was so far. I mean, I wonder if Baseball Reference would have that right now. Huge discount on Kershaw, says Ramon Scott, plus LA offense. Unfadable right now. You know what? The Dodgers, I don't know. I feel like the Reds should be the spot. Richard Lee liking over in the Reds-Dodgers game. Alex Mabry liking Reds run line. And Josef Tucker says 90 miles per hour in the high 80s. Thank you, Josef. Shout out to my guy there. Tomer Reno says Kershaw might not even be the Dodgers' second best pitcher this year. Raul Rogers in the house. Nice to have you. Thank you for joining us. Oh, Ramon Scott, your home track is absolutely gorgeous. Yes, the turf meets the surf. I know that very well. Kershaw makes a rehab start for allowing 2 runs, 5 hits while raising 6 strikeouts in as many innings. I would like to take the Reds here. But I'm not entirely sure what to do at this point. I'd like to take the Reds first 5. That's what I would like to do. I'd like to take the Reds first 5. I'd like to take the Reds to get rolling right off the bat. Plus 144 at Bookmaker. Reds first 5 plus 144. You know what? I'm going to take it. I'm going to take Reds first 5. plus 144. All right, I'm in. All right, we have Rockies, Padres, and then the Indians game, and then we can move on to NHL and NBA, which I'm very, very excited about. Then we have Drew Martin joining us in 20 minutes. So Rockies, Padres, Zenzatella looked fine in his 2 starts to Albuquerque. Coming off the injured list, had an infected blister on his right heel. 7 innings, 8 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, 4 Ks. Going up against Luke Casey. Rockies who can't touch lefties at this point. Alex Ramirez said, Jimmy, line went down drastically against Kershaw. I just think people know. And you listen, Jim Rummy saying, damn, are you sure, guys? I have Kershaw as 3.45 Sierra last year average. League was 4.45. He's not a bad pitcher. It's not a bad pitcher. Oh, and the low bag, LA. Oh, man, you guys are meeting up again Friday in North Hollywood at Big Wangs. Oh, man, that's so dope, DJ Big Watch. Love hearing that. Let me know all the information, and I'll tweet that out. Dave LA's on Reds first 5 team total over and first 5 over. Christopher Reese saying Reds starting to hit a little bit. Mally Mel on the Padres here with Luke Casey. Zenzatella. You know, let's take a look at what we're getting here before we make any moves here. Let's go to money lines. We go money lines and totals here. Oh, shit. Sorry, full game. Excuse me. Here we go. Padres. Padres, big favorites, minus 158. Luke Casey coming in. Let's see what Luke Casey's numbers are for the year. 14 and a third, 7 earned runs, 5 walks, 17 Ks. He looked spectacular before he got touched in his last start. I'm going to wait on that. And then let's talk about Bauer Kikuchi here. Bauer Kikuchi. Very interesting spot here with the Indians Mariners. I'm waiting for Kikuchi to step up, and the Indians are only hitting 200, 585 OPS versus lefties, but the Mariners are coming back to earth. Tom Ricci says, I'm also leaning Padres. Robert Cherry says, I can't trust those damn Rockies, Jimmy. Aaron Cervantes says, Rockies are horrible. Couldn't beat the Giants. Couldn't score any runs. Mal saying, Rockies bats are still cold. So everybody here liking. Oh, Dom Ricci says, if the weather stays decent, I'm on the over in Philly. Thank you for letting us know, my man Dom. Oh, but says not at minus 158. Dan Kelly says, Tri-Fan here. But I've been fading them lately because when Clevenger went down, at least till the All-Star break, I knew it affected the entire team's psyche. They know how important he is. I did not mean to say Coochie if I did say that. Coochie. But I might have said Coochie, you know. It is Monday morning. Okay, so Raul Rogers says, but yes, Arenado cracked it open a bit. Says, relax, people. Robert Cherry says, Seattle let me the hell down. I'm fading him this week. Eddie Oil says, Mark Lawrence picked Seattle M's today. And Matt Randall loving that over in Philadelphia as well. So, Bauer, 19 and 2/3, 11 hits, 5 runs, 2 home runs, 8 walks, 24 Ks. I mean, I watched his start against the Tigers. That's the first time he's been touched all season. Mally Mal leaning towards the Indians. So let's just take a quick look at what we get here and then move on to NHL and NBA. So the Indians open at minus 122 favorites with Bauer, and that's come down to minus 108 or minus 107. You know, this is a great-looking pitching matchup in a perfect pitcher's ballpark. The total opened at 7.5. It's now at 7. So if you want the under, you missed your opportunity. Richard Lee says, I'm a Rockies fan in Denver. They suck in San Diego. On the Padres. Thank you for letting us know. King Rail said, I took the over in Mariners, but I'm tailing a friend. Yaya says, who has those minus 20 soccer plays today? Let's get that value. You know, Yaya, I hear that, man. I hear that minus 182 might not be value, but a winner is a winner, and I probably should have taken them minus 1.5 as well, but, you know, it was a late night game, and I just wanted to win, sitting there with a bottle of Florida Cognac. All right, so all that's, Mally Mal liking the over in Indians Mariners as well. So I'm going to hammer those late games a little more on the late show. I'd like to move on to NHL and NBA, but I'm on the Orioles Red Sox under 11 at minus 105. Man, I need them to get out of this inning badly. Maybe Mullins will mess it up for me. And then I am on the first 5 under 4.5 in Cubs Marlins. And I'm on the Twins minus 133 at home. I'm on the Angels first 5 at minus 125. I'm on the White Sox Royals over 9.5 at plus 100. And I'm on the Reds first 5 at plus 144. Shout out to Joey Vang in the house. Russell Gordy says, fade Cleveland till further notice. Fade Yanks till further notice. Fade Nats till further notice. I like those looks. I like where your head's at, Russell Gordy. I like that a lot. I think the Mariners have value today. Okay, so all that said and done, that's the baseball card. We're going to hammer it harder in the late show. We're also going to see what our man Drew Martin's on in a minute. Okay, let's move on to NHL. And my record in NHL is slowly dropping. And it's going to drop more if these pens are out, because I really thought the futures on them made a ton of sense. Rafa, can you hit us up with the NHL record at where it stands right now? It's and last year in the playoffs, it went down as well. And it's doing the same thing that February 7th to present ROI no longer in double digits. BitXN saying Watford clean sheet at plus 400. Ooh, that's a good look. There's a big plus line if you're looking for one. Okay, let's talk Bruins Leafs. Series tied 1-1. This is such incredibly exciting hockey. I'm eating up this series enormously. Bruins are going to try to sustain their momentum from that big 4-1 series. Backus came in the lineup and made his presence known right away. Threw his body around. That got the rest of the Bruins throwing their body around. Then he made that pass out to Charlie Coyle. Coyle in game 1 was the only Bruin throwing his body around. I believe he had like 9 hits or something. Coyle and Backus leading by example out there, and then the rest of the team followed suit. And then we have the whole Jake DeBrusk situation with Nazem Kadri. Now, this is a very deep Leafs team, so they're easily going to have, they could put Marleau on that third line center, but Kadri's important. Kadri is an important team here. Artie Party says Pens are pathetic, but credit Barry Trotz. He's a hell of a coach. Eddie Oler says Bergeron has 3 goals, 2 assists, 4 games against Toronto, including 1 goal in each game of the series. Rembo says Boston, Toronto, tough to pick a winner. I hear that. Let's see. Oh, Jim Rummy says it keeps going up for me, Jimmy. Oh, your ROI. Hey, I'm not surprised about that. I'm so excited that you're on Twitter now. Alex Ramirez says, Jimmy, I'm on the Avalanche, but I remember what you said about their energy a while back. They're a tough team that the Flames will beat in this series, I believe. Tom Marino said Toronto looked happy to just win 1 game. I think they come out strong here. I'd lean Toronto. Anderson is playing well. Aaron Cervantes says, help me out with Jimmy in NHL. But you're ready to tail. Okay, well, let's Ulysses Hayes says Boston plus 100 money line. I'm on it. Viper MB says Lightning have been burning money. Let's talk more about this spot. So the big issue right now is the injuries with the Bruins. Now they're a deep team, and even if DeBrusk misses, he's important. He's a top 6 forward. But even if DeBrusk is not in the lineup, that doesn't concern me. It's more on defense. So it looks like they've lost Krug, who is so important, and it doesn't sound like Kevin Miller's back. So Krug, and that was a huge hit that Muzzin laid on him. What a hit by Muzzin. Man, that got my blood pumping. Connor Clifton also left with an injury, so they're hoping to have John Moore to return from injury. Kevin Miller's not ready to go. They still don't have Marcus Johansson, whose illness, he did not travel to Toronto. Sean Corrales still out with a hand injury. That's a lot. Robert Cherry says, I believe in the Bruins today, Jimmy. Reverse puck line plus 275. Jeff Joseph said Leafs look shell-shocked on Saturday. They have to want it more, and I haven't seen that. This is a tough spot here. And that's why it's an even money situation. When I look at the money lines for this game, all the value to me is on the Leafs at home. I just can't believe that you can get minus 114 with the Leafs at home. That surprises me. You have to think that there's an advantage playing at the Scotiabank Center. Wow. Can't believe they got out of it. Nice work, Boston. Okay. So I'm sitting here and I think values on Toronto. That total at 6, both the first 2 games have gone under. Terry Nicole says missing gate pass. I'm missing him too. And I'm sure I'd love to hear how upset he is at the Tampa Bay Lightning. I would enjoy that immensely. The Oiler says Nylander and Marleau will likely be placed on the third line should Kadri be unavailable to play on Monday. Tomer Nelson, I think the winner of San Jose Vegas series should be favored to come out of the West. I agree with that. Zach McNally saying go Leafs go. The AN saying Leafs are very inconsistent. Red Girl in the house, thank you so much for joining us. Bob Taylor says, why would the Caps be plus money on the money line? Carolina looked very good. Well, we'll get into that game. So at this point, I'm not making a move on Bruins Leafs. But I want to talk about it a lot more on the late show. Talking about the goaltending, I believe in both of these goaltenders. So Eddie Ole says going Bruins, Leafs, go to OT for best payout. That's a nice payout. No doubt about it. Let's move on to Capitals Hurricanes. We got Capitals leading the series 2-0. Two very contested games. Carolina minus 124 favorite at home, and I understand that. These were the Corsi darlings of the league, and they played the Caps very tough. So Washington won 4-2 on their first game, followed it up with a 4-3 overtime victory. Hurricanes lost Michael Furlan. That really hurt. And to me, Nick Dowd went down. That should not have been a hit to the head. And I don't think Furlan will get suspended on that. Robert Cherry says, I like Toronto, Jimmy. Don't get me wrong, but I believe in the dog. I hear that. Tomino says, I think there's value with the Capitals at plus 112. Capitals see Islanders are up 3-0. They don't want to be playing when they're resting. I hear that. Capitals have been dominating the first period. 5-1 combined edge in the first period. It's going to be tough. Wow, man. Jim Rummy, it'll be funny to see Islanders start Stanley Cup final. Two of the best defensive teams, worst offensive teams. Wow, wouldn't that be just unbelievable? They both look very good so far this year. Eddie Oiler says Capitals, Hurricanes under 6. I think that might be a very, very good look, Eddie. So Calvin DeHaan, we still don't know about. That's the only real injury. We know Michael Kempney out for a while for the Capitals. Capitals are, there's a lot of pressure on the Hurricanes, and I'm not sure how they'll handle it. Ann says Caps lock. Pepper under. That under 6 is a very interesting look. Under 6, slightly juiced. Open at minus 115 to bet line now, minus 118. Wow, that under is a very interesting look. I'm going to spend the afternoon thinking about that move there. Well, Ann said, my keyboard told me so. Hey, trust it. Ramon Scott says 13 goals so far, going over again in Washington, Carolina. Yeah, Mal saying Canes are just too young. I'm so excited about this game, too. Lance LaRose liking the under. I'm going to study this hard and make a move on it. We're gonna open up the late show with NHL, and I'm gonna spend a little more time. Nobody knows like in the under in Calgary, Colorado. Don Reed says, do the Isles look that good, or the Pens not as good as we thought? Oh wow, this series has really been tough. I really thought my Penguins futures. Now I only had $200 on the futures, but I also put $200 at plus 120 on the series for the Pens. And now I'm gonna spend a lot of time on the afternoon in this game because first off, let's just quickly look at what we get. And I don't want to spend too much time on it today because both those games are tomorrow, whether the Lightning or the Penguins can step up here in the face of a 3-0 deficit. Man, let's just quickly look at what we get here if we wanted to take either of them to come back and win the series. You're getting a plus 1,000 with the Penguins. Wow. And just a plus 450 for the Lightning. That's crazy. Isn't that crazy? Plus 450 for the Lightning to come back from 3-0. That's nuts to me. Ramon Scott says 4 straight wins now by the Caps over the Canes. Wow, Ramon, that's wild. That's wild. Mally Mouse says Islanders coach just won the cup. He's going back. Unbelievable. Don Reed says, I got the odds in the series, but shocked the Pens fell apart yesterday. Man, it just happened so fast. And they didn't deserve to win. Tom Marino said the early start hurt Pittsburgh. They weren't ready to play, but Pittsburgh looked broken game 3. The early start did hurt them. Okay, we're going to hammer that tomorrow, but plus 1,000 to come back? Pretty nice number. Predators at Stars. Predators at Stars. Now, these games have just been trending so low scoring. I mean, we thought the one advantage would be Dallas's power play. Dallas's power play was ranked 11th in the league at 21%, but the Preds 6-rank penalty killing has neutralized that. Robert Cherry says, no, they're not really good. They're really not that good. Says the season record is showing to be a fluke. Wow. Kevin Pine says, I'm tempted to take Lightning again for the series at this point. Might as well with that team. We have to wait, Kevin. We have to hear what's going on with Hedman. Eddie Oler says, I agree. I mean, Tampa Bay should be plus 1,000 to win the series too. I agree, without a doubt. And Rem Most, 3 games in a row without Crosby scoring. Okay, let's talk quickly about these last 2 games, then talk about NBA because we got Drew joining us shortly. And we're going to hammer hard these 2 things. Hammer very hard on the late show. Predators Stars. I mean, it's just such a tight, low-scoring game. But they're offering up these 5s, which is just very difficult. But I can understand why anyone would want to go on the under. Predators outshot the Stars 43-23 in their 2-1 overtime win. Nashville is out Brian Boyle due to illness. He's still sick. Also, Wayne Simmons was injured in the first period, taking a puck to the knee. He came back for a 30-second shift now, and then left for good. There's no updates at this point. Dallas is a healthy group. Dallas is playing good hockey. What would I get on Dallas money line here? Dallas deserves, the Predators, with them not being able to score on the power play, Dallas has got to be the favorite now. Dallas at minus 119 to win this game. Minus 115 at 5 dimes. Plus 100 at Bovada. Ulysses Hayes says Nashville money line, but I am certainly leaning towards Dallas. I'm leaning towards Dallas taking care of business at home. Bishop playing so well. So I'm going to make a decision on the late show. Or in the afternoon. I mean, I don't expect the line to change that much. Dom Reed, you got Stars in the series at plus 160. Dom, your series bets were spectacular. Islanders and Stars, both the big plus lines. You only needed 1 to break even, and you could easily get 2. Tom Marino says, I don't see value at this price. I still see value at plus 100. Oh, and Canadian Capper saying Krug is in. That's a big, thank you, Canadian Capper, with that. Alex Ramirez says, okay, I'm with you, Jimmy. Going to take Stars. I have not made the decision to pull the trigger, too. Jim Rummy says, I like Stars, too, Jimmy, but it's a fair line to me. I'm going to just need a little bit more time, but to me, I think the Stars take care of business at home. AN says, you'll miss the plus money. I mean, I've already missed the plus money. I just need to know if I'm comfortable backing a team that's going to get outshot again. Flames Avalanche here. Let's see what we're getting here in the Flames Avalanche game. Avalanche at plus 102. There's been a 4-cent move at BetOnline from plus 108 to plus 104. See what the total is, because Manoli knows is on the under 6 in this game. Under 6, and he's getting anywhere between minus 108 and minus 120. I get that. These are big playoff games. I just need time to spend with these games in the afternoon and then make a big move on the late show. Matt Reynolds says, abs. I certainly not going to take the Flames as a favorite on the road here. Baskin, if also liking the under here. I get that. That makes sense. The under 6 makes sense. It really does. And I told you guys, I said before the playoffs start, Mike Smith could do exactly what we saw Holtby do with the Capitals last year, and that's what he's done. Okay, Dan Kelly says, most important. So we're going to hammer these games hard on the late show. At this point, I do think the under makes sense. But I want some time here. But I do think the under makes sense. Both goalies are playing well. And I bet you that line goes away from us. I like the under in the Hurricanes-Capitals game as well. I think the Hurricanes know how they have to play it. Very tight defensively. I think it makes sense to jump on the under in the Capitals-Hurricanes game and the Flames-Avalanche game. And to take the Stars at plus money. I think all 3 of those things make sense. And you know what? I think I may make a move. While Drew's breaking down sports. I may make a move on all 3 of those. Hurricanes under. Avalanche under. And Stars money line. I am making a move on it. I'm going to make a move on all 3 of those. I'm going to make a move, but I'm going to line shop because I want to talk NBA just for a couple minutes here before we get into Drew Martin joining us. So let's talk. We got some very, very exciting games here. Nets Sixers. Nets lead the series 1-0. You guys were so bang on taking them. I can't wait to have all of our basketball experts on our show coming up because, man, were they ever bang on. Let's go to spreads and totals in the Brooklyn Sixers game. Embiid certainly looks hobbling. Wow. Sixers at minus 8 right now. Oh, and look at AN saying Flames all day. And AN saying you got to bet Dallas now if you want Dallas. It'll be minus 130 by the late show. Interesting. Wow. Jim Rummy says Avalanche are tricky. You had them plus 201 last game as a value play. They also have slightly better numbers. Yeah. Okay. Sharp Money says I saw nothing to suggest the Sixers cover at all. Brooklyn straight win or take the 8 and forget about it. The plus 8 will go. Max bet, says Sharp Money. Wow. Wow, unbelievable. Russell Gordy says, recap picks at kiosk. Sure, the 3 plays I'm about to make in NHL. Well, let's just talk NBA. Can you just Well, the 3 plays I'm going to make in the NHL, I'm going to take the under in the Capitals game. I'm going to take the under in the Avalanche game. And I'm going to take the Stars money line. They all make sense to me. I'm already on the under 11 in the baseball game this morning. And then I'm on the Cubs Marlins first 5 under 4.5 at -113. I'm on the Twins money line -133. Angels first 5 -125. I'm on the over 9.5 Royals White Sox. And I'm on the Reds first 5 at +144. Eddie Euler says under in both NBA games. Nets Sixers. So a Nets win would mark the first time they went up 2-0 in a series since 2004. D'Angelo Russell started slowly and then was dominating by the end with 26 points. The bench completely destroyed Philadelphia's bench. Butler goes for 36 and they can't get anything done. Nets use Jared Dudley at center. Shockingly affects Embiid. God, what the hell's happening to the Sixers team? Who thought that the Sixers team had no depth coming into this series? 4 Brooklyn reserves played at least 20 minutes. Jared Allen picked up 2 early fouls, limited 9.5 minutes, and they were in charge. Now, Jared Dudley, right calf tightness, I'm sure he's fine, but he's questionable. Ed Davis, questionable. Alan Crabb still recovering from knee injury. Embiid, questionable with his left knee injury. Bolden listed as probable with his knee injury. Unbelievable. Wow, and Dan Kelly says, I agree with Tom Marino. I like the Sixers to roll big. Tom Marino says, Philadelphia was completely embarrassed last game. They should respond here. Simmons wasn't aggressive in game 1. He should be strong here. Wild, wild stuff. We're going to hammer these games hard on the late show. We've pretty much capped the whole baseball card, so the NHL and NBA is what we'll start with, and we'll make sure that we're ready to go. Tom Marino says Embiid's daughter was sick. He was distracted and played horribly. He should come out strong here. Wow. And then we have Clippers-Warriors. Clippers-Warriors. Let's take a quick look at this. This total opened at 230.5, being shot up to 233.5. That makes sense. Golden State opening at -14.5, now down to -13.5. And Dan Kelly says the most important aspect of betting NBA Plus, figure out and understand why the rhythm of each series. Usually a bad idea in the second game of a series to bet a road team that won the first game outright. Definitely. King Rail says you have to play play the NBA totals. I did all weekend. It was very profitable. And Robert Cherry liking the Nets to take the series. Right now, if you took the Nets to take the series, and we'll go over all these things on the late show. Quickly here, Nets to take series. Wow. +175. Wow, +175. DJ Big Boss has Warriors and 5 at +140. I made that and Warriors and 4 official picks on the show, but I would have to be betting a lot of money to make that advantageous, and I decided not to bother making those bets. But I did make them official picks on the show. Warriors overcame 21 turnovers. They were completely in control. 121-104 victory. 38 points from Steph. Montrezl Harrell playing so well. Williams with 25, but they got nothing from Beverly, Shamet, and Zubac. And I know Beverly's focus has to be defensive. I agree. Yeah, that's what I thought from Von Polo. He said it wasn't even his daughter. It was his teammate's daughter. Yeah, I was thinking that was the whole cell phone controversy. So I didn't think that had to do with Embiid's daughter. Thomas says Philadelphia lacks depth. Injury, and this injury is underrated, but it shouldn't be an issue here. King Rail says Nets have too much offense. When Embiid's off the court, Nets carry it. Well, we're going to hammer these games hard on the late show. But at this point, the Warriors will continue to roll to me. And I can understand why that total's gone up to 233.5. We'll have to keep an eye on the moves. Ramon Scott says big move, Clips in the over. The Clips will play better. I mean, they'll get more. They have to be able to get more out of Shamet and Zubac. Shout out to Ski Profit in the house. So, look, interesting to see what Ski Profit's on. Well, that's what's up. So, right now, we're going to hammer these NBA games harder on the late show. On NHL, I'm going to line chop on those 3 moves. I'm going to jump on those 3 moves while we're talking to Drew Martin. And here he is right now, Drew Martin in the house. Thank you so much for joining us on this Monday morning. How you doing, my man?
A nice Monday morning, man, to be a sports bettor. We got a full MLB slate and NBA playoffs in full swing. And if you're into the NHL, like I know you are, in full swing in the playoffs as well. So good time to be a sports bettor.
Yeah, I look forward to hear about your weekend shows, more about them and how you enjoy doing them, because I know that's a very exciting opportunity to be working with Ski on the weekends. But first off, let's talk MLB. What are you looking at on this card, Drew?
Yeah, Jimmy, I had three games I was looking at. Got one bet on the late night, but touch on the first two that I was looking at but haven't placed the bet yet. Interested to see your opinion in the chat box. We got Kansas City, Chicago, White Sox. Let me pull it up here. We got some interesting things I was looking at. I'm really starting to dig into the bullpens and also, the current hitting statistics of the teams in the last week, 2 weeks, and full season. And a couple things I pulled out as far as strikeout to walk rate in the bullpens, something to use tonight and going forward, is the Royals have the worst bullpen in the majors, according to how many guys they're striking out to walks, and walks out of the bullpen will be killer. I've lost in it in years past. I'm making a point not to lose on bullpen walks this season. So it's almost like KC for me is I just can't bet them with this being their current bullpen form. Also, weighted runs created is a stat I love on the lineups. They're comparable right now. KC 102, that's just a little above average, 100 being average. Chicago White Sox at 95. Last week, though, the Kansas City Royals, they've been hot. They're 127, so that's 27 decibels over average in MLB. So that makes me look towards the over because the White Sox bullpen isn't great. It's middling across all of MLB, and the Kansas City bullpen being the worst. I'm starting to look towards this over. Granted, the market's on it a little bit. It's just a little under 10 at 9.5. But I haven't pulled the trigger. But in KC, Chicago White Sox, due to all of those metrics, I'm looking towards the over in this one.
An over that I jumped on. Dave LA said jump on this over. I took a look at it and I agreed. I absolutely agreed. I watched the entire start of Santana's. Well, that didn't take long. It was 3 innings against the Rays, 3 2/3. He looked terrible. He only got 4 swings and misses. Phil Meyer has looked terrible on the road in his career. Remember, when he came out of the PCL last year, this was a guy with like a 5.65 ERA or something in the PCL. Now, I know that's a hugely offensive league and take those ERAs with a grain of salt, but he came in and looked awesome at home, but did struggle on the road. I like it. I took over 9.5 at plus 100. I'm on it. I agree.
Nice. And you're liking it because more of the starting pitcher angle, right? And I'm looking at it from more of the bullpen angle.
Which means we come together.
Yes, because I know you know these starting pitchers better than me. So another game I was looking at. So looking at this Kansas City Chicago White Sox over, I think I'm going to jump on that. We got New York Mets, Philadelphia Phillies here in the NLE 7.5 minus 118. Philadelphia at home. The New York Mets offensively 123 weighted runs created the last week. But really looking at both of these pitchers, Nola hasn't been good out of the start. 1.4 whip, 11 earned runs in 15 innings pitched. And also Syndergaard. He's been, very decent. 19 innings, 10 ER. Not really lights out like we've seen him in the past. But this Philadelphia bullpen, 24% K rate and only an 8% walk rate. They've been kind of lights out towards the end of games. So it makes me look towards Philadelphia here, a really modest price at minus 118. And I know Nola, the LSU former LSU pitcher, he hasn't really been good out of the gate. So usually I don't like to kind of buy on pitchers until they started to turn that corner. But I am looking towards Philadelphia just because I think it's a buy low opportunity with the Phillies, one of the better teams in the league, at home.
Yeah, I can understand that. I've had difficulty. I mean, I've not watched enough of Thor, and I was looking at his numbers and being like, not very good. But Dom Ricci said, well, you have not been watching him then. So, Dom, that slowed my roll because we've seen how good Nola can be at home, and he likes these all eyes on me situations, and he's going to get that tonight with Thor up against him. I'm hesitant to make a move at this point, after the slow start with Nola. Let's look at what is the money line right now on that spot. We're getting a minus 1 point. You're getting value. No doubt about that. Yeah. No doubt about that. What do you make of this wind? I mean, it's sideways right now. It could change at some point. It's 22 miles per hour.
Yeah, it's something, anytime you go really north of 15, definitely 20, it's something you got to take in consideration. But when it's swirling like that, I think it becomes very difficult to handicap. I'm not really like an expert weatherman by any means. So I don't know. It's almost maybe just kind of like stay away because of that. Also, Tomar with a great comment. Nola is dominating right-handed hitters, even though he struggled against the Nats. He should match up better with the Mets lineup. That's a great point. Something I didn't factor in, and he brings that up. The lefty righty splits or something you really got to bring in because they're very important this time of year. But yeah, to your point with the weather, it's something. Maybe it's just enough to keep me off of this game.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait at this point. But Ron Crawford says no way you can pass up Philadelphia at minus 115. So Tomer's saying, I don't think Phillies are that good with their rotation, but I think Nola pitches well here. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait on this point, but I can understand. Why you'd want to make that move. I really can. At this point, I do think the Phillies at home have the value. What else? What's the third game you're looking at?
Yeah, this is the most confident. I bet a full unit on it already, and going to the Clayton Kershaw matchup on the West Coast, the get back game. Looks like 10:10 Pacific or 10:10 Eastern, so 7:10 Pacific. Cincinnati at the LA Dodgers. We got Castillo, we got Kershaw, and it's Kershaw's first start this year. And looking at his stats from his first two starts, one in Double A, one in Triple A. He went 6 innings. He went 4.1. His FIP over 5.5. 2 walks in 4 innings. His last time out. And really, it's something that I've been doing in the past. Big name pitchers that really have a shortened kind of spring training, get ready for the season type season coming in. I look to fade them off the bat. They didn't get their full workload in. They're getting ready for the long MLB season. So this is almost like an extended spring training, and I think they're just looking to get him up, get him some innings at the top level. I look to fade this opportunity. Also, add in the fact the Reds have won 4 of 5. They're not a great team by any means, but we're betting numbers here, and at a big plus price here with Cincinnati. They also have Castillo on the hill, and Castillo is a guy I'm really looking to bet. 26-year-old Dominican, 3 games, 19 innings, only 2 earned runs year to date, 25 Ks. This guy's been lights out. He throws hard. He can dominate the opposing lineup. I think he can do that in Dodger Stadium. We also get Yasiel Puig coming back and facing his old team. I think there's motivation there. Joey Votto as well in the lineup. So I like Cincinnati first 5 at a big plus price here, Jimmy. It's I put a full unit on it. It's my play of the day.
Well, I'm on it as well. I jumped on it on the early show. That makes perfect sense to me. Russell Gordy on it as well. I love it. I got plus 144. I haven't bet it yet. I'm going to do it as soon as the show's over. And the market's moving towards the Reds right now. Noli knows liking the under in Cincinnati, LA Dodgers. Russell Gordy says under Mondays. Travel day for all teams affects totals and the weather early in the season. Russell Gordy, under Mondays. Is that something you use in your capping?
No, I really haven't. What would be the reasoning behind it? Just because of travel and it affecting the lineups more so than the opposing starting pitcher because he would have left the day before?
I think more also being tired, traveling, I would guess, and the early morning weather. I mean, it makes sense to me. I
guess there's also a getaway day there to some aspect as well. It's like a Thursday, the getaway day, the home plate umpire kind of expanding the strike zone. I would see that more so than the other reasoning.
Yeah, I hear that. It's a good. I love all these cappers working together, just giving as many insights as possible so that we can roll together. Matt Randall has his taint play of the day today, Drew. It's the Angels minus 1.5. I jumped on the first 5 on the Angels in this game. Angels against the Rangers. Cahill, let me get to my notes here. The play makes a ton of sense to me with Cahill going up against Shelby Miller. How Atlanta got Dansby Swanson for Shelby Miller. How the Diamondbacks would give up a number 1 overall pick for Shelby Miller. Unbelievable. Now he's just picked up off of the street smoking a cigarette on the corner by the Rangers. 5 2/3, 10 hits, 6 earned runs. He looks awful. But the Rangers have shown a lot of heart here, and their offense has been quite good. So I'm just taking Angels first 5. Have you taken a look at this game at all?
I like Cahill. I think he's one of these guys, he's not a lights out type of pitcher, but he's real smart, locates the ball very well. And like you just talked about with Shelby Miller, man, that was an amazing trade for the Braves. And how he's fallen off the cliff has been pretty amazing. I would actually point towards more the money line, just because at this price -130, I would just kind of look towards the Angels. Also, their offense at times can kind of not be on fire by any means. So laying a run and a half to a Texas lineup, like you talked about, they can hit at times. I would look for them to have more success against the Angels bullpen than against Cahill. So I like it a little bit more first 5 and probably just stick to the money line.
Yeah, I agree, but the Angels bullpen's been spectacular so far this year. Second in the league right now in ERA and second in the league in batting average against. So they're rolling right now, but we'll see how long that lasts. Another question here, just to help for my afternoon study, if you don't mind. Big pitching matchup in Seattle. Trevor Bauer versus Yusei Kikuchi. Kikuchi had his father die, about a week and a half ago. He had that first start in Chicago. Everything went wrong in it. Then his last start didn't improve much. He's now sitting allowing 20 hits and 21 2/3, 10 earned runs. And now he's going up against Bauer. This is an interesting spot to me. The Mariners have now lost 3 straight. And the total's down to 7. I don't think I want to mess around with the total. But I wonder, and I know the Indians don't hit lefties, but where do you see the value here? Kikuchi opened at +112. He's now -103 or -101. Do you have any lean in this late game in Seattle, Indians and Mariners?
Yeah, competitively priced game. It's going to be a good one late. And, Bauer's been good too, Jimmy. We're looking at his stats real quick. I mean, he's over a K an inning, left on base percentage, high 80s, home run fly ball rate is 11.1. So his ERA is really good, FIP decent. So he's a good pitcher as well. And it shows in the pricing. The Mariners pitcher, I want to see him with my own eye. I still haven't gotten a chance to see his start, so I like to see these starting pitchers at least one time through before I bet on them, unless I'm looking to fade them like the Kershaw play today. But I really haven't seen enough of them, so I don't have a strong lead. But I'm pumping the brakes on betting against the Mariners. The start that they've gotten out to this season, making a lot of money for their backers. I think this team might still be underrated in the market. So I would lean towards the Mariners.
My feeling is that let's fade the Mariners. They're not as good as their record indicates. They got hot on a road trip. Let's go against them. That's my feeling right now, and I'm not sure if I'm going to follow through with it at this point. Paulie D says Mariners pen is garbage. Let's take a quick look at this Seattle Mariners pen. Seattle Mariners, 4.59 earned run average, 212 batting average against. I'll have to keep an eye on that pen. But Ron Crawford says Cleveland favored tells me all I need. Lance LaRose says Seattle overrated. Mally Mal says Mariners lose tonight. Man, looking forward to cap that game. This is exciting stuff. Drew, we got to bounce out of here. Will you please hit us with your 3 official plays once more and let us know where we could find you on Twitter? And then, if you don't mind, could you touch on a little bit about your weekend shows with on the NBA?
Absolutely, man. Well, first off, first 5. Got the Reds plus the big plus price there in the first 5. Also KC Chicago. That's the play that I bet before the show. Then also lining up with you on the Kansas City Royals Chicago White Sox. Looking over 9.5. I think I'm going to jump on that. You capped the starting pitchers very well. I got the bullpens there. And then New York Mets Philly. We were breaking it down. I did not bet it as of now, but looking towards Philadelphia minus the price there. And as far as our weekend shows, me and Ski do a show Saturday and Sunday, 11 a.m. Eastern, breaking down the NBA playoffs for the weekend slate. So come join us. It's a lot of fun. Ski really knows his NBA playoffs, NBA overall, and he's been lights out. We're off to a good start with best bets as well, with the 1 seeds winning and covering. Also, Ian Cameron joins us on Saturday as well. And on Twitter, at Drew Martin Bets. And yeah, excited to get after it. I'm on your show, Jimmy, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday now for baseball picks. So it's a lot of fun on the SBR YouTube channel, man.
It is, and we love having you. Thank you so much for joining us, Drew Martin, and we're together on a couple spots here. I like to see that. Now, I decided to pull the trigger on 3 plays in NHL and not wait. Sorry about that. So, I decided to pull the trigger and not wait on 3 plays. So, I'll let you guys know what I'm on. And I like them. I like them a lot. I mean, that doesn't mean anything, but I guess I needed to talk them out and sit and think on it before I hammered them. So I'm on the under 6 at minus 115 in Capitals Hurricanes. That's available at Pinnacle. Then I jumped on the Stars at plus 100 at Bovada. That line moved huge. So somebody at Bovada made a huge bet on the Predators. By far the best line on the book. And that's not a stale line. Plus 100 at Bovada. I know I won't get that when I make my bet. And then finally, I'm on the under 6 in Flames Avalanche. Under 6 at minus 108, available at Pinnacle. Eddie Oilers saying Stamps to win the Grey Cup at plus 325. How can you go wrong doing that every year? They're a great football team, Eddie Oilers. I look forward to hammering that with you. And Gin Rummy is now on Twitter. And the taint play of the day is Angels minus 1.5. Gin Rummy now on Twitter at Oddsmaker Stats. Love it, Gin Rummy. Love it. Love it. Thank you to our guest, Drew Martin. Can't wait to see you guys on the Late Show. Hopefully this game stays low scoring in Boston. These early games tend to do that. Very early. I mean, not like the regular. This is because of Patriots Day. But it's not Patriots Day to us. It's Jackie Robinson's Day. Let's have a great Jackie Robinson's Day. Much love to all you guys. Most importantly, Leche and los bookmakers!